we call you once again to address some pressing concern in Labour Party and our position on the ongoing petition at the Election Petition Tribunal by the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, and his lawyers. We have followed with keen interest the shameful development and approach by the so-called legal team assembled by Peter Obi, challenging the outcome of the February 25th presidential election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. And we have, like many Nigerians, come to the conclusion that Mr. Peter Obi is not only taking Nigeria for a ride, but we continue to waste the hard-earned resources donated by Nigeria for the purpose to even enrich himself the more. Mr. Peter Obi attempts to cage the sense of thinking of Nigerians by trickery obtaining money from them to fund the court process, making them to believe there is something for him at the end of the day must stop now. All of you here who have been following this case can recall that the day we had altercation in court with the Abure illegal faction, that day INEC announced that Peter Obi could not pay for CTC Form ECO 8, another document used for the election. You will all remember that Mr. Abi Mahmood, the INEC lawyer, read on the floor of the court that day a letter written by Dr. Levy to INEC that they will not be able to pay 1.8 million to obtain certified true copy of all relevant documents, knowing fully well these are the documents he needed to prosecute, this alleged stolen mandate. That now compelled them to only present only 30% of the material they would need for the hearing of the election petition proper. How would any right-thinking person go to election tribunal with only 30% of your document, where not all of them will be accepted, agreed to be tendered by other political parties? 3 days ago, they claim with the array of over 10 SAN, they claim that 2 of their counsel were sick. And yesterday, they could not even file a process properly with the array of SAN put together by the corrupt Abure himself. This, we have been saying that even the court granted them 10 minutes to go and put their house in order yesterday. And after the 10 minutes, they came back. They were seen unable to properly file that paper. And this is what we have been saying, that they were just trying to hoodwink the public, deceiving the obedient, and giving them false hope that they have something at the tribunal. How on earth will Mr. Peter Obi, despite the hope is giving Nigeria, allow the 5 justices to pass a verdict that Labour Party is not serious and we are wasting the time of the court? It is evident from the attitude displayed by them when they wrote that letter to INEC that Obi could not pay 1.5 million. Who are they deceiving? Counsel was sick. Who are they deceiving? Just 2 out of many of them, they stole a court process when time is already against our party. They are aware that election process are sui generis. It doesn't wait for anybody. And yesterday, like I said, the court had to give them a stand down of 10 minutes to fight their process, but they came back and you heard what the court told them, that they are not serious. So where is the stolen mandate that we are running after when the 5 justices unanimously passed that damning verdict that Mr. Peter Obi is not serious? And I need to make a distinguished statement here. We have also filed appeal against the ruling of the Presidential Court of the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, where they said Peter Obi should represent Labour Party. We have filed appeal at the Supreme Court against that judgment, because the Supreme Court is very clear that parties have the right to present their own counsel. If we had our own counsel, out of 12 that they paid, they will not be telling the court that 2 were sick. What happened to the 10? Were their mouth amputated or their leg amputated? that they could not go ahead with the matter, only for them to now be asking that they have to give them time, and they know this matter, actually time bound. So for us, we have concluded that Obi came to our party with nothing. He didn't fund the election. He didn't fund the party. He didn't do anything for the party. He only came to make the entire process up and to deceive Nigerians that he has something to offer them. Labour Party is hereby calling on him to get stepped down from his selfish ambition and stop messing up the party if he has nothing serious to present to the tribunal. He was the one that said the mandate was stolen, but Obi has not been able to provide any concrete evidence to back up this claim, because himself and the co-traveler had different intentions against the wishes of Nigerian masses who freely offer their support for Labour Party. If a court is telling Obi and a dozen of SAN that they are paid over 3 billion naira to from our stolen money, it shows it's not serious. It is not enough reason for Nigeria to ask Obi what exactly is his mission at the court. That is why he has filed appeal at the National Petition Tribunal, because we knew that Obi and his team of lawyers are only playing to the gallery. They have nothing to offer rather than making frantic effort, looking for every means to share the money donated by Nigeria for our campaign. Our position on subsidy removal. We are here again concerned about the agitation of NLC and TUC on the removal of fuel subsidy, which our presidential candidate was fully in support of. At the end of the press conference, I am going to play what Mr. Peter Obi said during the presidential media chat. In fact, our position about the removal of subsidy during our campaign has not changed. We have not reversed that position because it was not our candidate that won the presidential election. Whatever we agreed during our campaign, and as a party that promote peace, equality, and justice in Nigeria, then we can't be found to be appropriating and reprobating at the same time. The same organized labor who stood on that position must not be seen to be working in crop purposes on the same thing that Atiku, Tinubu, and even Obi said they were going to do.
Can I assure you, he will go immediately. Subsidy, I've said it before, is organized crime. And I cannot allow it to stay a day longer. What they're telling you is not what it is. Half of the subsidy that is being, what is being mentioned is not subsidy. First is that we consume the quantity that is not supposed to be consumed here. We are the same population with Pakistan. They consume below 50% of what we consume. So first, the first half, I will remove it and give those people who are drinking it water, because that's what they're supposed to drink, so we can save the money. Two, we will deal with the other remaining issue. We need the money today with our debts. We need the money to be able to invest in a critical social development issues. Look at this year's budget. This year's budget, education, which is the highest since this government came, is about 2 trillion. Health, which is the highest since this government came, is about 1.5 trillion. Then infrastructure, which is road and everything, is about 1 trillion. So these three critical development areas is receiving 4.5 trillion. Subsidy is 3.6 trillion.
Six.
No, half year.
Oh, like, okay.
Half year, 3.6. So every full year is about 7 trillion. Which country will invest more in subsidy than education and health and even roads? It doesn't make sense. This is the annual budget of education is 2 trillion. Annual budget of health is 1.5. Road infrastructure 1, and subsidy half year is 3.6. It will go immediately.
I need to make it clear that Mr. Peter Obi during the presidential media share, which I have the video on channel on Arise, he has said he will remove it 100% and that subsidy is an organized crime. If the NLC will support Mr. Peter Obi during those statements, if the TUC has not come out since that time when Obi said going to remove subsidy, then it is somehow very funny for them to now be promoting strike, to be threatening the president now that they want to go on strike. I want them to apologize to Nigerians for accepting with Mr. Peter Obi that they will support him to remove this, the fuel subsidy 100%. They should not now be running after the president that had just been sworn in. He was not the one that removed the subsidy. Mr. Peter Obi said the subsidy had been removed. They told us since last year that by June 2022, subsidy will come to an end. Both the NLC, both the TUC consented to this. So for them now to be appropriating and reprobating, it is not fair on Nigerians. So Mr. Joajero, he better resign or he will apologize to Nigeria for supporting Obi ambition to remove subsidy. Comrade Osifo should resign or apologize to Nigerians because we have their support during our campaign that subsidy will be removed. So now they cannot go back on that promise because Obi did not win that election. And they need to explain to Nigeria, was it because it was Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu that won? Why are they supporting Mr. Peter Obi? Is it because he's from somewhere and other person are not from there? I think these are the questions begging for an answer before NLC. Because they are doing their press conference now, threatening the government they will go on strike. I want them to go and look back at what they agree. What they said does not lie. They have never at any time went against Mr. Peter Obi's position about fuel subsidy. Because he said it was an organized crime. Tinubu said he's going to remove it. Atiku said he's going to remove it. And now the NLC and TUC claim to be working with Labour Party. They have no right now to put their vehicle in a reverse gear and said they are no more going to support it. It shows that with one hand, they are greeting you. With the other hand, they have a knife there. And no sensible child will want to embrace such kind of unholy alliance. So I am making it very clear that the next meeting that both the NLC and TUC are going to call, they need to ask them questions. Why did they support Obi to remove fuel subsidy and they are now going against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to remove fuel subsidy? This is a question begging for an answer. Thank you once again.